Okay, I'm gonna tie a Woolybooger. Just for all of you that don't know how to fly is tied or have never seen how a fly is tied. I'm gonna tie a Woolybooger, and for the hook I'm using a Timco 9395 size 6. It's a 3x heavy, four times long, 4 times longer than it is wide. Forge, it's a very strong hook, a very robust hook, as Davey McPhail says. On that I have put a 3/32 Orvis copper bead. People say I put a bead on my fly and I caught some trout because of it. No, you didn't. You got your fly deeper. That's all you did. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a length of 0.25 lead wire. Start just a tad in front of the hook point with this. Start wrapping. I try to get at least 11 to 13 wraps depending on the size of the hook and how deep I want to fish to fly and all that good stuff. And you get that on there. Send that lead out of the way and jam all your wraps up as far as you can on the back of the head. The bead rather. You get all that setting together and setting straight and golly, everything's cool. Yeah. Get yourself mounted back up. You bear with me, this is my first video. I don't even know if I'm using my camera right. For the vise I'm using an HMH Spartan 535 that I paid entirely too much money for, but I love it and I'll have it the rest of my life. The thread is a uni 6/0 black. So we start a basic thread right behind that lead. Wrap that on out to this point, right in front of the point, something like that. Get the excess out of the way. Then we're going to tie in some marabou plume. I love marabou. Some people you can use some synthetic materials, hair, whatever, but I love the buoyancy of marabou and how it gives itself life naturally in the water. It gives your fly a little bit more clout. First thing I want to do is I want to take that stuff and wet it so I can tie it in easier. And I want to get this feather about as long as the hook is long. I don't mean the entire hook, I mean from the point to the back of the bead, about that long. So you size that in there, something like that, get her measured up, grab the feather, bring it back, bring your thread over, pull that down 1, 2 times, like that right there. You got your tail right there. You see Woolybooger, some people have tied and everything looks all heavy in the back end and it's all out of kilter and stuff. That's stupid. No sense in doing that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie in some medium brass wire for reasons all my own. Take that and tie that right there beside the tail. Get her in there good and solid. As Mr. McPhail says, Davey McPhail's my new hero in the world of fly tying. He's a fellow from Ireland. And you get this lead up here out of the way, you get everything jammed together, get you a base of thread in there. Come right in here. Bring her on up. The whole time you're doing this, you're binding this thread down through that lead to the hook so everything can handle itself. I always say there's no sense in tying a fly unless you tie it where you can use it more than once. To that I'm going to tie some regular rayon chenille and brown. It's got a little flash of it in it for some color. Tie that in right there behind the eye or bead or whatever you want to call it. Tie this down on top of the hook because you want to get yourself some clout and start going ahead and building and tapering the body just a little bit and getting a little bit of attitude toward the fly. Grab all this, bring her back forward, stop somewhere along that area, get your thread over out of the way, start twisting, and as you twist you want to pull back, pull that on that hook right there. Get all this action happening right here. This is a very old fly, it's a very effective fly. You can twitch it, you can dangle it, you can run it as a streamer. I've caught fish on it that I didn't know I caught because it is a pretty heavy fly. You detect a strike pretty easy with a Woolybooger because it does have so much weight. If fish touches it, they usually eat it. Very old fly. I do not know where it originated. Get all this out of the way. Tidy up. Get this down there out of there, and you want to tie on a Chinese saddle hackle. It's in brown with a little black stream through it. I don't know why they call this a saddle or Chinese. I guess it's a saddle because it comes off the back of the hen. I don't know anything. I just try to tie in the thing and make stuff and catch fish, and I really don't even know if I know what I'm doing, but I sure love doing it. Tie that in right there behind the bead. Get this out of the way, your stem. You want this just a little bit longer than the gap of the hook. You can use saddle hackle pliers if you want, but due to the time constraints, I'm not going to use that. Obviously I should have, because I made the terrible mistake of tying in the feather too loosely. Take back our retire up and you here out of the way. Okay, let's do it the right way. Grab your hackle pliers, strap them to this puppy, get your thread out of the way, pull that down around that, there we go, that bead. Get all that going on right there, and you got a lot of life happening, a lot of legs, looks like legs, movement, things in the water, things that make fish go whoom. Get that hackle all the way back to the back, and right in front of your hackle pliers, pull that wire over. That's why I tied that wire in. A little bit of pull right there. Get the stem up here out of the way, go right under your hackle pliers, take that stem out of there. You don't even have to squeeze the scissors together. And to the bottom of that, you take your metal scissors, because you know you don't use your good scissors to cut metal with, or wire, or any of that good stuff. Come in here with your pliers and squash that brass wire together. Fluff out your marabou plume. Get all that dried up. When she dries up, she'll swell up and she'll be beautiful. Get this thread here. Get everything wrapped down really good, tidy up, as he says. Put your whip finish right here with your handy dandy whip finishing tool. 1, 2, 3 wraps. One more just because you can. 1, 2, 3 wraps. Pull that back. Take your scissors right there. Tidy up. Pull this back out of the way. And if you'd like at that point, you can put a dab of glue right here to help hold that down. You've got everything cinched down. You tied this fly in a pretty good length of time. You can tie them sparse, you can tie them heavy. I've tied them both ways. Sometimes they work perfectly every time. Sometimes they don't ever catch a fish. They're not a very easy fly to cast if you're with on a light leader and tippet, but it is without a doubt one of the oldest, beautiful, most productive, easy to tie flies. That is the Woolybooger. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.